homes live here with Bayut. Find real and authentic properties using TrueCheck. Download the app or visit Bayut.com.
Yeah, homes live here. Normally, at this time, we speak to Fibber Ahmed from Bayut in Dubizzle. Fibber's in the green room this morning. Morning, Fibber. But she's found a friend, and that friend, we're delighted to say, is an old friend of the Business Breakfast. Abdullah Al Ajaji, founder and CEO of Driven Properties, live in the studio. Morning, Abdullah.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Good to have you with us. We were joking in the studio that you're my favourite Saudi real estate broker in Dubai. But you're also the only one I know. So
okay, it's not tough to beat.
But joking apart, it's good to have you with us. We'll get onto real estate in a second, but first of all, you've been following events over the past few days, the tariffs, the Trump policies. What do you make of it?
I mean, sentiment is something to look out for. I think in the next few days of how the markets react. There's a lot of movement in Asian markets this morning. We've seen, and over the last couple of trading sessions in the U.S., clearly there is a sentiment shift globally. It's a wait and see approach as to how accelerated these, if there were to be tariff negotiations with the U.S. administration, and I think that's the only way for markets to kind of take a little breather from how they're behaving right now.
Our stock market's open in about an hour and a half. Everything's falling at the moment. Let's see what happens here. But in terms of where the UAE and Saudi Arabia fit into all this, there is potentially a positive, because our tariffs are just 10%. But secondly, and Tom mentioned this earlier, Donald Trump announcing within the past few days his first official visit in his second term as president is going to be to Saudi Arabia, your home country, and the UAE and Qatar, UAE where you live and work. What message does that send?
I mean, I think there's a positive spin to that, like you said. First of all, the fact that it's 10% compared to global counterparts is a positive. Some of the main exports from the UAE and Saudi are commodities, aluminum in the case of the UAE, and oil and gas, and Saudi more or less the same. We're going to see a lot of probably ramp up of manufacturing to encourage additional production in order to make up that difference for earnings, for corporate earnings to still grow. And I think the fact that Trump's visit first visit is going to be in this region will mean that these tariff negotiations are just timely to start with these economies.
Okay, let's talk about the real estate market now. Driven Properties, very active here in the UAE. You've got a new report out on the commercial property market and the quarterly performance Q1 2025. What did we learn?
21% Q-on-Q growth compared to 2024, and then about 7.5% increase versus the Q4 of 2024. So tremendous growth in this market. There's a lot of activity in the commercial segment of the market due to Dubai being its tax advantages in some sort. It's the lifestyle it offers, of course, and the relocations that are happening from all across the world, specifically from Europe. And these are, and of course, the lack of supply of grade A commercial contributed to that growth. And we see the outperformers or outliers in terms of performance are in the grade A segment of the market, where there's a distinct lack of supply.
So when we talk about a 20%, 21% increase, are we talking about in commercial rent per square foot?
It's rents and sales. They actually went hand in hand in terms of value growth. We've also seen transaction growth and occupancy growth. Occupancy is now at 94% versus 89% in Q1 of 2024.
Okay, so the grade A market we know is booming at the moment. We've done work down at ICD Brookfield Place, down in DIFC. Maybe it's the jewel in the crown. Other buildings would lay claim to that. But what about elsewhere? What about the grade B or grade C stock? You know this city well. What about all those office towers down in Deira or Bur Dubai, down on Bank Street, as we used to call it?
There's still activity there, and there's growth as well. Again, there is also a shift from businesses going from places like Sharjah and Ajman, trying to relocate into Dubai, being closer to where they actually do business. These businesses start in places like Derab or Dubai and Karama, and we've seen an increase in office rents there as well. So it was always two-digit rents where we were talking 60, 65 dirhams per square foot. Now it's very difficult to find anything in the grade B category in these even in these locations less than 100 per square foot in rent.
So where are you doing deals? You're a broker, Driven Properties. If those transactions are happening to buy and sell office buildings, can you give me an example of a kind of deal that you've done?
So we've done two major transactions in the last few months. One is a purchase of a building in Emaar Square Building 3, which is a 505 million dirham transaction. And that's something that Driven Properties both invested and promoted in. That was one of the largest downtown commercial deals of last year.
Who are the tenants in there? I'm trying to think of Building 3 in the quadrant.
You have the National Bank of Bahrain in the building. You've got right now Driven Properties. We're occupying a floor and a half in the building. We have our development company, Lamar Development, as well on the 8th floor, and a host of Hadif partners, one of the largest law firms as well as their PRD nationwide, and a few other major tenants in the premises.
Okay, so that's swanky grade A offices, lovely. Whether it's MR Square or DIFC, I get it. But you're also looking, when you look at the commercial property market, at warehousing and industrial.
Yeah. So on that front, you have areas like DIP, which did really well over the past few months. Warehouse
Dubai Investments Park.
Dubai Investments Park. You've got Jabal Ali Industrial as well. These areas have thrived. Again, the e-commerce activity, the growth in e-commerce has really pushed these rents up in these locales. Yields have come down, so cap rates have kind of depressed as a result of prices going up faster than yields, because a lot of these companies are cash rich and want to invest from their balance sheet into their operations, and that pushed prices, capital values higher than rents.
Final quick word on the guys from Bayut and Dubizzle. Fibber Ahmed, one of our friends, has joined you in the studio this morning. What role are the portals playing at the moment in a business like yours?
I mean, Fibba is a great 10-year friend and business colleague. She's contributed a lot to the success of a lot of the brokerages and brokers.
Yeah, but she's also head of sales, so she's going to be charging you for the privilege, isn't she?
That's for sure. That's a conversation for later. But yeah, surely Bayut has contributed to a lot of our success, and the brokerages alike. The ecosystem of brokerages, has been and will always rely heavily on the role of portals, and Bayut and Dubizzle. The MPG group has done its part quite well in the expansion of that ecosystem.
Abdullah, great talking to you. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you for coming in. The thoughts there of Abdullah Al Ajaji, founder and CEO of Driven Properties.
Dubai Eye 103.